Good morning and welcome to Love Island the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast.
Happy weekend, everyone. We have a stellar team joining us today. We have me, Amy Hart, my wonderful co-host, Indiyah Polack. With us all week, we've had content creator Anastasia Kingsnorth.
Hello, everyone.
And today, we've won the competition. We've got the prize. We have Islander Jess White,
Hello.
my love, my friend. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
We have been fans of you since day one. I can't stop calling everyone my love, my friend. When you followed me back on Instagram, it was a great day. But how would you describe your experience in 3 words?
My experience in 3 words, I would say, would be like whirlwind, fun, and it was just the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's like loads of words, but honestly, it was the best experience of my life. You'll know because you've done it, but it's like something you can never explain.
In hindsight then, is there anything you would have done differently in the villa?
I mean, looking back, I would never regret anything. Like, I don't live with regrets. Like, you do things, you learn from, you move on from them. Looking back, there's certain things and I think, oh, Jess, you didn't need to say that, or you didn't need to do that or get involved in that. But I did it. I'll own it. I felt it in the moment and I was true to myself in that moment.
It's hard though. I think you're very like me in that you're sat around all day and as you think something, it comes out and you're like, it's fine because I'm just talking to my friend.
Yeah.
You forget that
Forget
you're in
that.
a fully rigged villa.
Exactly. And this is the thing. And my face says 1,000 words too. So even if I didn't say something, somebody would say, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I'd have to tell them anyway.
We had Hugo in yesterday. Lovely, lovely Hugo. How are things going with you?
Really well. It's early days. I hate that it's early days, but it actually is like really early days. But it's quite nice to come out and not have like that pressure of being in there and just taking it at our own pace. And then he took me on a date the other day as well.
Oh, where did you guys go?
We went to Duck and Waffle and then to Sushi Samba. It was nice. Good first date. So he's won a lot of points for that.
Yeah.
So we also saw that you were actually one of the girls who encouraged Uma to not leave the villa with Will. Do you kind of feel a little bit frustrated that she decided to go?
For me, it wasn't the frustration bit because I get like Uma, they were so madly in love with each other. But for me, it was just a thing like, he kind of altered her experience them last 6 days when he come back from Casa. And I thought, you owe it to yourself. Let him wait for you a little bit. But you've had to wait for him and he come back and didn't treat you very nice in Casa. So there was a bit of me just thinking, just try it. And I know she would never have stayed long, but I just thought, let's just have one night, sleep on it, as you always say. But yeah, she was not having any of it.
Yeah.
She was like, no, I'm going to be horrible to everybody, I'm going to be moody, you won't want me to be here. But I tried my best, but yeah, she was having none of it. And it's worked out well because
A
girlfriend and boyfriend.
girlfriend and
Yeah.
boyfriend,
Now, obviously, one of your main, we'll say storylines, but it's not storyline because it's your life. In there was obviously your triangle with Ronnie and Harriet.
Yeah.
Have you seen either of them since you came out the villa?
I saw them last night. We was in a restaurant and I saw them. So yeah, we were going to bump into each other now in this industry. So it was always bound to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw them last night. From me, it's like, it doesn't bother me. Like, everyone's happy, everyone's doing their own thing. Like, we could never take away, we shared that experience together. I don't think we'll be better friends anytime soon. But we still had some lovely times when we were in there.
Exactly.
I guess, everything happens for a reason. You always know, even like from experience being in the villa, you're not going to get along with everyone.
Exactly.
It is
and it's just hard, isn't it? Because on the outside, you wouldn't be around people that you didn't get on with. Like on the outside, I'd be like, you're not my cup of tea, I'm not yours. Let's just part ways and leave it at that. But in there, when you're living with someone 24 hours a day, you can't get away from them. Like, and also like, you do become a bit more like, we'll just try it, this friendship, let's keep on trying. And I did keep doing that.
Yeah.
Try and see like the positives to the friendship we had because there was. But towards the end, I think it just got a little bit too sticky and just too messy on both of our parts.
Yeah. And I was thinking like work colleagues, like if you worked with 35 people and then you left, you're not going to stay in contact like full blown best friendship contract with all 35
You always say
people.
you're going to, don't you? Like whenever I've left jobs in the past, and it's been like, we're going to stay in touch, we're going to go, and you never speak to them again. And it's so sad because all the intentions are there. It's just life just gets in the way. And I'm sure it'll be the same for us when we get out of here. Like you'd love to keep in contact with everyone, but people are just busy.
Now, Jess, we know that you were a straight talker. You gave the girls loads of advice. Would you say that you kind of saw yourself as like the big sister of the villa?
I think that's kind of what the girls have said to me in there. And I feel like I don't take advice very well, but I like to give advice. Like, I feel like I give like a balanced opinion on things, especially like with Kieran and Nicole in there. It was kind of like, if I felt like she was overreacting with things, I'd be like, Nicole, come on, like he's actually done nothing wrong here, or vice versa. I would tell her if he had, and I'd be like, no, hold your own on that one.
I don't know if you've seen it when you left and they do like the little montage of everyone saying how much they love you. Nicole said, she's the one who always says to me, no, you're overreacting. We were like, if that's how she's been with you telling her to overreacting, what the hell is going to happen for the next 2 weeks?
Oh, no. I always did try and give like an opinion. I know people think, you're getting involved in people, like your opinion's not always wanted. But in there, your opinions are wanted. And like you forget like it's so intense in there that everyone kind of is involved in everyone's business. It just is natural. On the outside, I wouldn't probably do that. But when you're in there, you have to have an opinion on things and you have to try and give advice. And it was always warranted. I'm like, they wanted me to give that opinion. So I like to think big sister vibes is what I'm going for.
We like that. We like that. Now, the film festival, how did you feel when the clip of you telling Sean to go and talk to Matilda came to light?
So the thing is with that, me and Matilda had already had a chat. So Matilda had already kind of said like, what was your chat with Sean?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I just explained to him. I said, oh, you were getting to know Hugo. He said, the difference is, I said, Sean had kind of took it to this level and she'd had it at this level, getting to know people because he'd done the kissing, she hadn't. So I was kind of saying to Sean, like, you aren't like fully in the wrong because she has done the same thing. But when we were at the film festival, I think Matilda said something to me, but me and Matilda were fine about it. So it wasn't like I was just trying to get my friend in trouble. Yeah. Because me and Matilda got on so well. We were really close in there. All the other clips, I was just more mortified at what I was like, oh my God, I'm feral. Some of the comments I was saying, I was like, no, my mum's going to be watching this. Like, shut up, stop saying these things. But it's just weird when you see it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Sean, what did you make of his apology to Io last night?
I really like Sean. I think it's funny because when Sean first came in, we were having conversations and he was like kind of saying he doesn't feel like he's being himself. He said on the outside he's like the most confident and he was like, I just don't feel like I'm being that way. So then to kind of see how he is now, it's kind of for me, although I know sometimes I think he's getting himself involved in situations maybe he shouldn't do, it's kind of like what he said he's like on the outside is becoming more comfortable to be like. So I do think he's been on a bit of a journey and I do think his apology was sincere.
I love how when he was cute little Sean, that everyone was like, oh, Sean. He's like, I'm not being myself. And now that he's like shouting people like, you're wrong. MeMe, you're out of order. MeMe, you're in the equation. He's like, this is me. This is the real me.
But I don't know where it's come from because we never did this when I was in there. It's just like kind of gained this new personality.
Do you think it's because things are getting more competitive because we're nearing the end? Do you think it's he's got comfortable with people?
I think when him and Harriet got voted in the top when they were in a friendship couple, and I do think from that moment, I do think he probably thought the people like me, because it's usually friendship couples that end up in the bottom. So I think naturally you'd think, oh, well, the public must like me. So I think he probably is quietly confident that people like him, and people obviously like Matilda because Matilda's amazing as well. So I think naturally you probably would get a bit competitive towards the end now. I would if I was in there. Like, you're there now.
There's a cash prize. Now, Love Island isn't all about the love. It's about friendships too. Who have you spoken to already? Like, who are you going to stay in contact with? Who can't you wait to speak to again when they come out?
I'll keep in contact with everybody. Like, honestly, the relationships I had in there with not just the girls but the boys was like unmatched. I didn't think I'd go in there and meet. I know I had my differences with Harriet, but in terms of everybody else, I got on with all of them. So I would speak to every single one of them. I was with Samantha last night. So she was like my day one. So I can't wait to see her with Nicole again. Tiff is amazing, like Ellie. Honestly, everybody has been wonderful. Uma, obviously, really close with Uma. Everyone. I just can't wait to see. So the reunion will be fun. And I can't wait to obviously see Nicole when she comes out, and then also Matilda, because me and Matilda are really close as well.
Well, Jess, one thing we did love about you is that you're full of opinions. So you can stay around for a bit longer and help us dissect all of last night's drama.
A heatwave has struck the island, and no, we are not talking about the Casa bombshells. It's time to debrief on the islanders' fire fits with headline sponsor eBay. Casa Amor equals surprises, and seeing Jess in the rat and boa dress was my type on paper. The legacy runs deep, with the stunning dress previously being worn by Arabella in All Stars, Ella in Series 10 and Sammy in Series 9, for glam movie and date nights to drinks with the girlies. Gotta love the versatility. Kieran got lucky with Ellie, Lucy and Emma during raunchy races. Clearly it had everything to do with that sexy Jacquemus tea. Finally, feelings blossomed for Jess and Io when he whisked her away to the hideaway in his iconic Levi's jeans. Could they be boyfriend material? And that's a wrap on these red-hot pre-love looks. Discover more villa inspiration on eBay. Fashion fit for a second chance. eBay, sponsors of Love Island. Josh and MeMe. They are exclusive.
Exclusive, that word that we still don't know what it means, but I'm loving it. They seem to be on the straight and narrow.
I mean, he said nobody's going to come in and make my head turn, which is very easy to say at the end of week 7.
No one else is coming in.
Just before the final recoupling, nobody's going to come in and turn my head.
So they've been together 2 weeks. See, I think that's really early to say, like, you're closed off.
Look, it's week 7. They've got a week left. They're not getting to know anybody else. And I think they had an instant connection.
They
so
did,
really, on the grand scheme, 2 weeks is not really that early to be locked off in that situation.
It's a bit like when you meet someone when you're 25 and you meet someone when you're 35, right? Like, so like week 2 is 25 and week 7 is 35. When you're 35, you're like, am I going to marry you? Yes. Done. 25, you got a bit more time to play with.
And he did come in, didn't he? And like straight away, as soon as he came in, he just was such beeline for Mimi. And I think we'd had a chat earlier that day, me and Mimi, and she was like, I just feel like I'm really like down at the minute, like I just can't. And I was like, you just never know who's going to walk through them doors. And literally that night, he came in, and the next day we had the same conversation, and she was like, it's so crazy how much things can change in here in the space of 24 hours. And then the smile just came back on her face, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, they really do suit. And I think we can all kind of agree. Josh has been so patient with Mimi, and his communication skills, they've been fantastic, really. Like, I think he said everything that's on his chest.
He's giving man energy, isn't he?
Yeah. She said that he's been very patient with her, which he has been, with all the IO stuff and the terrace and everything. But at the moment, I think Kieran and Nicole, Matilda and Sean and Joey and Jessie, and there's that 4th place in the final to go with them. And I think Mimi and Josh could be up there for the final, you know?
I think 100% they will be. I think it's not. I would say that they would be within my top 4 straight away.
Yeah. Especially after their date as well. I feel like they got a lot closer on the date. Now they've got a little baby as well.
Yeah. They've got a little Teddy, Jomi. I mean, touching on dates, guys, what would everyone's dream date be? If we start with you, Anastasia.
If money wasn't an option.
If it wasn't an option,
if it was just like dream date. I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but Cappadocia. Have you seen that place where all the hot air balloons are in the sky?
Oh my God.
And you wake up at like 5 in the morning and you like watch them all and have like food and stuff. Yeah. That would be like...
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Anything that starts with waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning is none of my dream dates.
Yeah, that's not ideal part, but the views would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if money wasn't an option, a 2-week holiday to Orlando. But I think my dating has changed. I used to be like, big night in London, a show, dinner, going out like to piano bar and stuff. The other day we went to a spa for the day.
Nice.
And that is
Love
now
that.
my ultimate dream date.
Yeah.
For me, mine would probably be like, you know, like a big yacht. But then what is like that thing at the front of it that people sit on?
Oh, like the netting.
Oh, like in Titanic? Without
like, no, that would be a big disaster of a date.
When she's holding on to the door.
Not that bit. Not that bit.
The bit where she's standing at the front
you know,
of the
like, when
boat.
it's like the boat goes like that, and then you've got like the bit that people sit on. Because have you ever seen 365 Days?
Oh,
that
yeah,
boat
yeah.
That's a date I'd want, like food, cocktails, you know, sat at the front of that boat just somewhere.
Yeah,
that sounds
somewhere
lovely.
hot. Yeah.
I feel like boat dates are always fun. I had a date once with Dami and we went on these boats, but they were barbecue boats. Literally, it was like a little K barbecue in the middle of the boat, and you could like do a barbecue and then like pedal and like just go around.
Stop it. Where was that?
It was by Lakeside. And they have one in Canary Wharf.
Oh, in the UK?
Yeah, in the UK.
I was only there the other day. I could have gone on there for my first
Yeah, in Canary
date.
Wharf. They're called like barbecue boats. It was actually really fun.
That's so cute.
Me and Sam went glass bottom kayaking in the Caribbean, and it was
Sounds huge.
The doctor's totally avoided the sounding positive, Amy.
I didn't realise how hard kayaking actually is.
Kayaking is hard.
tiring.
It's so tiring.
Yeah.
I feel like the first 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, this is lovely. 2.5 hours it was. 2.5 hours. But we actually persevered because someone else in the group decided it wasn't for them and they got the speedboat to come and clip them on and take them back.
No.
And I said to Sam, can we do that? He was like, absolutely not.
No, the shame. You
Absolutely
can't do
not.
that.
Yeah, no, kayaking is really tough. I did kayaking once on a brand trip with Dami, and like we had to drive like to and from the island. So on the way was fine, but on the way back, we were arguing.
Yeah.
I was like, you're not going in the right direction. And everyone had left us. Like, in the last minute, hurry up. Like, it is a lot.
Like, my arms are aching the next day. My arms ached.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a
I kept going
workout.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, right, right. For like a minute, and then I was like, I'm bored now.
Yeah, it was so tiring.
Row. It was a lot.
Speedboats only for us, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Casa Amor is notorious for its dramatic moments and shocking switches where islanders have to make tough decisions and do what's right for them. So we're counting down the best Sky Mobile Me moments, Casa Amor edition. This girl knows what she wants, and in third place, we have Jess speaking facts.
I know what my type is, and it's that.
Now, Jess may have mentioned that she is the prize, and I love how confident she is, and she always knows exactly what she wants, and she's gonna get it. Coming in at number 2, we have Sean, the sweet salesman, selling himself to Ruby.
I'm the mature man you need.
Yes, Sean, you are mature cheddar. And at number 1, Professor Jess S manifests.
I believe in the law of attraction. What you put out, you will attract.
receive,
What you
yeah.
manifest, you will attract. What you think, feel and speak, you will attract.
Understood.
And I think about Io.
I mean, if that's what she's been manifesting since week 1, she is a master manifester because he ran straight after her. Unlike Casa Amor, Sky Mobile offers hassle-free switching. Simply text to switch and embrace your me energy.
Let's touch on opposites. So we saw that Mimi likes to be a bit more of like a party girl and a raver. And then Josh, he said he's a bit chill. Do we feel like opposites can work?
I think the thing is with Mimi, I don't think she's a raver. Because when we were in the villa, we were speaking about where we were going out. So I think she's a party girl. I wouldn't say a raver. I think there's a big difference between if you're in your rave era or your party girl era. We love party girls. So I think she's more of a party girl. So I do think that could work. And I think, obviously, he's not saying that he never goes out. He's just a bit older. When you're a bit older, you do just start naturally going out a little bit more.
I think that will work, though. Because I feel like, for example, me and Dami, we are very similar. But we do like to do different things sometimes.
But they
like,
say opposites attract.
They do attract.
Yeah,
they do attract.
Yeah, I do think it could definitely come work, and I think it'd be quite nice for them to do things separately anyway. Like you don't want to live in your partner's pocket.
No.
So I do think it'd be quite nice. And also, I feel like it's nice to chill with your partner and then party with your girls. Isn't it?
I
think that's nice.
Like, mate,
Be
that is
hungover
the
with
best
your partner.
thing. Girls' night and then coming back to bed.
Yeah.
Best thing ever.
Moving on to Joey and Jessie. Now, obviously, Joey has been having a lot of beef with everyone this week. Now, Jessie sat him down and said, I appreciate that you're opinionated, but you don't need to air all of it. Your opinions on other people are none of their business.
Yep.
And she said the way that things come across when you get heated can be more disrespectful than you intend. Do you think he is intending to be disrespectful or not?
I think Joey's just very opinionated, and I can speak from someone like myself where if you've got an opinion, he's just voicing it.
Yeah.
Do I think sometimes he takes it a little bit far and just says things towards other people that could be deemed disrespectful? Probably.
Yeah.
But I think Joey's a showman, and I think Joey knows what he's doing, and he's doing it very well.
He loves the drama of everything, but I feel like that's going to be their downfall because she's having to constantly tell him, like, Joey, please don't do this. It's like telling off a child.
Yeah.
Because she's so mature, Jessie. Like, you know, when you're having them conversations, like, she's like, is speaking to him as if like she could possibly be older than him, like in terms of the maturity.
I mean, she compared him to Kieran, who is, I know we're not allowed to say it because he gets very upset, but he is the youngest boy in the villa. And obviously Joey is the oldest. So I think out of anyone to compare him to Kieran, it's very like, why can't you be more like your sister? Vibes,
Yeah, I think also as well, comparing like your guy to like his friend is a little bit of a grey area because I feel like guys have such big egos and then now Joey's going to be thinking about that like, well, so you don't like me.
If you want to be with Kieran, why don't you try and get with Kieran?
It's a bit of a
kick. If you like Kieran so much, go and marry him. Would you be annoyed if Jamie compared you to one of your friends?
Well, I think all my girls are great, so not really. I'd be like, well, yeah, fine. That's fine by me. But like, realistically, you would be a bit like, oh, what do you even know? She's not even your mate. She's mine. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think naturally anyone would be a bit like sour after a comment like that.
Yeah. Especially in the context that she's meaning it.
Yeah.
I think it's even worse when it's a context like basically saying, be more like someone else. How they handle situations, that would really annoy me.
Do you know when parents are like, oh, I wish you're a bit more like your best friend? I'm like, you don't even know she's
half the stuff that she goes
half the stuff that she gets up to.
My mum used to do that a bit with like other friends. And I used to be like, Mum, they're not very entertaining. Like you wouldn't have any laughs in the house. The house would be silent.
You're lucky it's me.
Will Joey listen, do we think? Is it pointless to try and change someone?
You can't change someone unless they want to change themselves.
A word.
Like, that is literally it. And she's told him so many times, I don't think it's going to change. I think he just loves it too much. He's too used to it. That's just him.
My therapist said, you can't change someone.
My therapist
said, you can't change someone's actions. You can only change how you react to them.
Yeah. That is my auntie's favourite saying in the world. That's what she always says to me. And it's so powerful. But if that's how he is, he shouldn't have to change for somebody. He should compromise, but he shouldn't have to change who he is. And I think everyone who knows Joey and seen him, that is who he is, and he shouldn't have to change.
Yeah, I guess he just needs to find someone that will pull up.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't think Jessie will. I honestly don't think she'll stand for it.
If he does continue, it will get a bit boring.
Yeah, it'll push her away. I do think she would walk away from it because of it.
Wow.
Well. So, guys, last night we saw the final recoupling.
We did.
We did. That's it now. The doors are shut. Done. Who you're with is who you're with till the end. Who do we think is going to make it to the end?
Bar Lola and Harry, unfortunately, because they are very new and I don't think they've had enough time to blossom.
Should we talk about Lola and Harry quickly?
Let's do it.
Because his recoupling speech, I've always wanted someone to say, I want to couple up with this girl because they are the last one left. And he sort of did that a bit in not so many words. I felt like it was all very negative, and I felt like that's it now. It's done. You know it's the final one. That's it. That's your lot.
Yeah.
So be a positive person and be like, okay, well, this is a great opportunity. Don't be like, what will be, will be. No. Make the most of it. Be like, okay, we've been put together. We've got maximum like a week and a bit left. Like, let's get to know each other.
Yeah.
I think as well, like a recoupling speech should be about that person.
Yeah.
And I can speak from experience, girlies, because I've had it before. But it's like, fair enough, you need to get them points in and make Grace aware that you like her. That's fine. But that's her one moment. She's never going to have a recoupling speech again now. And you've kind of taken that from her.
Yeah.
And I just think it's unfair to do that to someone.
I think there needs to be a handbook on how to do a recoupling speech.
Yeah, literally.
Talk about your partner and your partner only.
It's not that hard.
Literally. So, guys, last recoupling. Who do we think our winners are going to be? Prediction time. You, Anastasia, first.
I don't know if I'm going to be right, but just after that episode, I feel like I've changed my mind like every single night this week. But I really like Aya and Jessica. Just seeing how Jessica was, how she just laid there and was like, you know what my favourite thing to do is? Nothing.
Yeah.
And that little moment between them both was just so cute. And
Yeah.
if they're like that all the time, I'm like, oh, actually, like maybe they are like in it for the long run.
Yeah.
I think Jessica's actually showed us a different side to her.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, when she first came in as a bombshell, no one's really that keen on the bombshell, especially when you're splitting up good relationships.
The CEO of the MeMe fan club as well.
Yeah, no, literally.
You were like,
Mimi was
how dare
going
you?
through so much. So like anyone that was just bringing her any sort of turmoil was like, why? Just get it. But I feel like Jessica has actually showed herself. She's been really nice to me since the beginning. And I'm starting to see her character a lot more. She's quite funny. Her and Io really do suit. So I think they have got something good going on.
I love her one-liners.
And you know, literally I was like, she just makes me feel good. And it's nice to see everyone deserves love.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
they've got a good thing going.
I don't know whether they've been in the bottom a couple of times. I don't know whether they
I
can
know.
claw it back enough.
It's a bit
tight.
tight.
That mountain's high, but strange things
tight.
happen.
They have
You never know.
I think it could go to Matilda and Sean, you know, and I will tell you pourquoi. Because Kieran and Nicole have been announced as the most compatible couple as voted for by the public, i.e. the top voted couple. People go, well, I've always voted for Kieran and Nicole, but everyone votes for them. So I also like Sean and Matilda, so I'm going to vote for them instead. So I think people do get complacent. People need to remember to vote for the people that you actually want to win. But I think top four, in no particular order, will be Joey and Jessie, Kieran and Nicole, Mimi and Josh, and
Joey and Jessie?
in the top four.
Oh, so you think Io and Jessica, they'll get out? They won't make the top four?
I think next one's out, Lola and Harry.
Yeah.
Out next week at some point, Grace and Ruben. Io and Jessica
agreed.
place fifth, and then the other four are the top four.
Yeah,
don't know the
I
order.
agree with that in any kind of
Come
order.
to me next week for the order.
Yeah,
I can't do it right now.
I agree. There's obviously everyone is together, but for example, Io and Jessica, I still think it's just still too early.
It is too early.
And I think those, apart from Mimi and Josh, but I think Mimi is a legacy character.
She absolutely is. And she's an OG. She's been there from the beginning.
I feel like the other three, they are legacy couples.
Yeah.
And then Mimi's like a legacy character that's been on a real journey. And they are very deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Say what you want about Joey's showmanship throughout the series, but we have talked about it every single morning.
We have. What about you, Jess? Who do you think?
I want Kieran and Nicole to win. I've been literally with them from the start. And it's just kind of seeing the journey as to not just what they've gone with together, but on their own as well. Like how Nicole started and how Kieran were and how they've learned how to react to situations and how they respond and they kind of communicate better with each other.
Yeah.
That is an amazing journey to be on as well. It's just finding love. It's kind of how you deal with things yourself. So I feel like they are so deserving of winning and hopefully they do win.
Fair play. Well, guys, I feel like we'll check in and maybe about next week to see who actually wins.
Yeah.
So exciting. But guys, in the meantime, last night there was an audience vote that is now shut, so don't do anything. And we had to vote for our favourite couple. Who do we think will be maybe the most popular and who do we think is going to be at risk?
Maybe after the date, you know, Mimi and Josh could be favourite couple.
Yeah.
I feel
That
like
was a
people are
fantastic
really going to
date.
hate to them.
Yeah. Do you know what? Can I just say, can we scrap the grafties? They're on a good path now. Honestly, but do you know what? I think they're in a really good place and I don't think it will shake Josh.
No, because he knows about it.
He knows
So aware of it, but
I
sometimes
think-
it is harder to see it.
Yeah, I think he might just laugh it off. You know, sometimes
I
you
hope
see
so.
things, you're like, oh, why'd they do that? So I think that will be put to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all about timing with Love Island votes, isn't it? When that vote comes, what's happened in the last 15 minutes, even in that last part.
Yeah.
Like people have very short memories.
That's what's on your mind.
Yeah. What's on your mind? So I think Mimi and Josh, very popular couple.
I think Grace and Ruben could potentially be at risk as well.
Yeah.
Just because, again, they're a new couple. Obviously, the last week, they've not been great. They've had like, ups and downs. So I do think that that could potentially have an impact on it. Because I think they're still figuring out what's happening with them.
Yeah.
So they probably are one of the weaker couples at this moment in time, just in terms of the journey.
This season, I feel like we've not had so many new couples this far in. Like, we've got the finals coming up real soon, and there's probably about 1 or even 2 strong couples that have been together for more than like 4 weeks. You know what I mean? Everyone is still quite fresh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning. We have had a fabulous morning with you all. Thank you, Anastasia, for joining us all week. It's been amazing. And thank you, Jess, for coming in. We've loved watching you. We've loved having you here this morning.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to be on After Sun tomorrow, so make sure you tune in.
So, guys, please spread the word to any Love Island fans you know. As you know, the final is around the corner. Things are about to get very competitive, and we cannot wait. We cannot wait. See you soon.